Alrighty, well, hello everybody, and welcome to the show this week, the show live. And really enjoying the decision to take the show live after 330 recorded episodes coming into our seventh year. Pardon me. Really excited about taking the show live. This is our sixth now. For being live. So we're very excited for what's coming and the different guests that we're going to be able to have now, because we're a full hour live talking to you in Facebook land, simulcast in about 10 different locations on Facebook, different groups, different Facebook pages. Pardon me. And see, this is the nice thing about live. I can do what I want right here. I've been fighting that cold. I hope you're not fighting a cold too, but been trying to get rid of one since December. Anyway, thanks so much for joining everybody. I'm your host, David Burrows. For those of you who don't know me, I reside here in Sarnia, Ontario, Canada. And I say it like that because we have a viewership here from all over the world. We got some friends in Australia watching. I got my friends in the United Kingdom watching, and down in the United States as well. So wherever you're watching from, and even though we're just talking about Sarnia Lambton, this is a community show to talk about communities and events in our community. But what I really want to do with the power of live streaming here is connect our communities together, because it's really one big city that we live in now because of social media and because of live streaming. And the platform that we're using here, thanks to our friends BeLive TV, that's how we're bringing this talk show format to you. And it's available to you, the public, as well. There's a free version to try out, and then there's some paid versions depending on what your purpose is. And I don't get paid to say that. I am one of the mentors for BeLive, along with my friend Stephen Healy and others in the BeLive and 5 group. So if you've got an organization that you want to promote, or a business or whatever, you should be going live. I'll tell you that right now. And if you want to know more about doing that, you can Facebook me and talk to me about that. I'll be happy to help you out with that as well. Yeah, a couple little things. I just want to say, if you would please check out, I don't want to solo that out. No, that's right. There we go. That looks better, right? Check out my social media on the Video Show Network, which is the parent to all the different shows that we produce here. We've got our friend Michelle Dion does the show, normally out today, but we're a little behind on that. There's other social medias. We're everywhere. Snapchat, Instagram. Instagram is a lot of fun. I got to tell you, I'm really enjoying Instagram. We've got a really large following there on Instagram. So check us out everywhere. And Twitch TV. Do you know what Twitch TV is? Well, if you're a gamer, you probably know what twitch.tv is, but it was originally designed for gamers to go on and live stream their video game playing, and now they've opened it up to the world. In other words, anybody who wants, if you want to put a show on there, if you want to talk about music, you want to talk about fun things, whatever that is, you're welcome to go to twitch.tv, and you can check us out there, TV Sun World. My son Jason and I, we do a live broadcast every Thursday at 12:30 Eastern from our local Lambton College here at their esports arena. They've got a beautiful esports arena and an e-varsity team. Yes, gaming is gone e-varsity. And we do a live 2-hour broadcast, father versus son in video gaming. Yeah, who do you think wins that one most of the time? My son Jason teaches me, which is cool, right? And he's taken the esports program that is available at Lambton College. It's the only program of its kind in all of Canada. And he's one of the first 30 students to be able to take it. And there's still room for that. So go to lambtoncollege.ca to find out more about that. All right. Going to move along here. We've got a few things to talk about before we get to our first guest. We're going to talk Sarnia Sting, but I will tell you our first guest, and I'm not sure if I'm saying her name right because I haven't had a chance to talk to her, but Meighan Tyas. I hope I said that right. She'll probably correct. I see you in there. Can you nod? Did I get that right? It's Meighan Tyas. All right, you can't see her, but she's there. We'll get to her in a minute. She's going to talk to us from Sarnia Family Fun, and then we're going to have a couple of guys from our Sarnia Fire Rescue team here. Mike Otis and Roel are going to be here. And then we're going to talk to Justine Honsinger, a local boxer who I interviewed one-on-one last year, and now she's back to talk to us again about her triumphs and successes in the boxing world. Young Justine, looking forward to that as well. But first, we got to talk Sarnia Sting. Of course, if you're a Sarnia Sting fan, you know how the series is going. And last night, wow, it was super exciting. They did win in overtime. Final score 3-2 there. I was I was down at the Bad Dog in Sarnia here watching it, and boy, oh boy, it was hard to watch, but we got through it. So congratulations. Let me just see, who do I got here? Let's share up our screen here for you. So yeah, now the trick with live streaming is I got to learn how to multitask, and I'm a man, so I'm not very good at that. Franco Sperverio, of course, came in there with the first goal, and that was it was funny because when they went to break, they started talking about the goal. Was it good? It was in, guys. I don't know what they were talking about. So Franco Sperverio in there, of course, assisted by Jordan Arts. Drake Rimshaw came in, real nice shot in there as well, assisted also by Franco and also by Jonathan Ang. And then Sean Jostling in there with a super awesome overtime goal. It was fantastic. So congratulations to the Sarnia Sting. So that means that we're going to be back there live tomorrow night, Tuesday, for the next game in the series against Kitchener Rangers. And my friend Jay Peckham and myself will be live pregame as always, and we'll keep you updated throughout that. And I'm hoping to have a couple of special guests pregame. Can't tell you yet because I don't know yet. And then, of course, postgame, we're always live in the Players' Lounge to talk about whatever happened in the game. So go online, sarniasting.com, right there it is, to go get your tickets for Tuesday night's game. And, of course, the draft has happened. If you haven't been paying attention to that, you can go find out all that information. Just go online, sarniasting.com. All right, now what do I got to show you? I got to go back over here, and I got to go over there. See, I'm still getting used to all this. Sarnia Sings, we talked about it last week, and we had several guests on that are going to be in Sarnia Sings, and that's super exciting. What is Sarnia Sings? It's a show that was put on last year at the Imperial Theatre with Adam Dumont, and Adam approached me to help him out with that. I was the MC, and we together were able to pull off Sarnia Sings. It supports mental health and suicide prevention initiatives here in Sarnia Lambton, and it was fantastic last year. It was about 22 singers. They come out, they sing a song, and then they go sit in the crowd and enjoy. And we've got some fantastic local singers that are going to be joining. Some you'll know, and some you maybe haven't heard of. But it is all, again, in support of mental health and suicide prevention initiatives here in Sarnia Lambton. And I know we'll be, say that 5 times fast. I know we will be having Adam Dumont and some of the other singers. We're going to have a full 1-hour show about it coming up. We're still trying to schedule that, so we'll let you know. But you can go online right now to imperialtheatre.net to get your tickets for that. They're only $25. And again, all going to a fantastic cause. Sarnia Sings at the Imperial Theatre coming up on May the 3rd. Really excited to be a part of that as well. And you just never know who's going to show up and sing. That's all I can tell you. All right. Let's move on to the next part. Yeah. This is not an easy thing, right? Whether you're a hockey fan or not, if you don't know about this, I'd be really, really super surprised. Of course, the Humboldt Broncos. Tragedy is the word. Here's where I had a hard time last night. I was, as I mentioned, I was watching the hockey game and had the Sting game up there, and over on the other side was the vigil that took place last night in Humboldt. 15 people killed in that tragedy. And I know everybody's talking about it. I know it's the news. And I thought to myself, I'm going to bring this on, and how am I going to talk about it in any way differently? And can't imagine. I have a 21-year-old daughter, a 17-year-old son. So if you have kids, hug them extra hard. Because I just can't imagine the tragedy that's like, I don't know. See, I can't even get through it. So, tonight in response for support, there will be a vigil tonight at the Point Edward. The Point Edward Memorial Arena. There'll be a vigil tonight there, 7 o'clock. Bring your candles. And if you live in the area, they're asking for you to walk so that there's it helps with the parking. And it's going to be about a half-an-hour candlelight vigil with some speakers. And I'm hoping to get there myself. Haven't figured that out yet, but hoping to get there myself and just go, show your support for this. It really, I've only been involved in the hockey world a short time, and I'm still learning about it. I've got a lot of great people around me teaching me and encouraging me, and I'm learning the game. But one thing I've learned about hockey, it's its own family. It's just different than a lot of other things. It's its own family. And you can obviously see the support that's been happening in the hockey world and around the world. I did a show this afternoon with my friend Stephen Healy from the United Kingdom, and he knew all about it. So it's affecting the entire planet right now. So, like I say, let's just, yeah, I'm out of words. So tonight, 7 o'clock, the Vigil at Point Edward Memorial Arena, that will happen. And if you could make it and make the time to be there, that would be awesome. Okay, there's a GoFundMe page for this event and for this tragedy, I should say. The goal was to reach $4 million. It's already reached about $4.7 million in support for the families and what they will need and a whole lot more. I was looking at the Globe and Mail has an article that talks about all of that and all the different parts of the tragedy, from the hockey players to the radio announcers and the coaches. So prayers and thoughts to everyone this is affected directly. And that's all I can say on that. All right. Okay. Family fun. Let's get more positive again right now. Family fun is, one of the things I learned about Sarnia Lambton, there's no lack of anything to do. It so bothers me when people say, there's nothing to do in Sarnia. You know what I say to them? I've been doing a show about it for 7 years. There's lots to do in Sarnia. And if you don't have enough to do in Sarnia, then create your own thing. And I'm going to say that that's what my next guest and some of her friends and family have gotten together to talk about as well. So, Meighan, I'm giving you your heads up. We're going to bring you into the broadcast right now. Here we go. Meighan Tyas. I said that right.
Yes.
Awesome. Thanks so much for joining me, Meighan.
No problem.
I have to admit, as active as I am hearing about events all the time, I just hadn't heard of Sarnia Family Fun, and I just stumbled across it, and I'm so glad that I did. And now here we are. So why don't you tell everybody a little bit about yourself and then how this initiative all came to be?
Yeah, well, a little bit about myself. I am a children and youth worker, pastor here in town at New Horizons Community Church. Okay. I just became a mom 6 months ago today.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been great becoming parents with my husband, Paul. We've been working in ministry now for, oh my goodness, 5 years or so, something like that together. And we just care about our community. And so through who we work with, being downtown Sarnia especially, we've gotten to know a lot of the families in our community. And we just wanted to put something together with some of our family and friends. And we wanted to put something together and meet a need. So what we were seeing was a lot of families with either two working parents or single parent families that are trying to have time to do something, let alone the funds to do it. And I mean, even going to the movies these days is so expensive, right? So
let me tell you, my son offered to take me out of the kindness of his gift card that he got at Christmas and said he would pay.
There you go.
And if I were to buy, and I bought the popcorn and the pop, I think next time I'll pay. Yeah. And he can have the popcorn and the pop.
Yeah, it's pretty pricey even to do something as simple as that. So we came up with this idea, Sarnia Family Fun. We wanted to do something for our community, no strings attached, nothing like that. Just something that they can get together for free as a whole family and make some memories together without even having to leave Sarnia or put out a couple bucks, right? So we started Sarnia Family Fun, and that was 2.5 years ago now.
Yeah, that's well, like I said, I 2.5 years ago, and I hadn't heard of it yet. So I'm so glad that I came across it. It looks like and what an appropriate name. Sarnia Family Fun.
Thank you.
Well, I think it's easy enough these days with technology and video games, and I'm somewhat of a promoter of video games with my son, but we limit it, and we make sure that we also sit down and play board games still. So
Oh, that's awesome.
the family fun part of it, I think, is encouraging in the title there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we try to do something through all of our events that offer something for every age in the family. Some of them, like the picture you've got up there, Kids Camp goes up to grade 5, but I mean, parents appreciate that too.
Yes, I'm sure. Right.
A little time off.
That's part of that's part of it too, right? Is, like, is there somewhere I can take my children, even if for a couple hours, so I can go get some groceries done. Maybe especially if I'm a single parent, right? Because that's more common, obviously. And, or maybe I just want a couple hours to myself.
Oh, yeah. A coffee and a book.
Maybe a sleep.
Yeah, nap.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So, but you obviously try to include, the whole entire family and all of it too. This looks like this young lady here is having fun on a bouncy.
Yeah, that's at our family fun day in the summer.
Okay, all right. Yeah. And where was that handled?
We do the family fun day at Candlelight, right next to the animal farm. We figured it's a great spot on a summer day. You're going to the park, you're going to the beach, whatever it is, you can stop by for some free lunch. So we do a free barbecue. Last year we had about 1,000 people come on out, which was really awesome. Yeah, it was a big event.
Hey, free food, I'll be there.
Oh, I know. It's a huge draw.
That's fantastic. I could never get enough of the animal farm when I was a kid too, right? That's and we do have such a beautiful park here.
Oh yeah.
I see our friend is that Cinderella?
Oh, that's Belle from Beauty and the Beast.
Oh, Belle, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's Kira Nixon. She does Kira's Enchanted Parties here in town. A lot of people know of her. Yeah, she's very talented.
She's actually, she's going to be in Sarnia Sings. I was just talking about. Oh, yeah. She's going to be singing on that on May the 3rd. And I know she very, 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 very talented young lady for sure. So that was, what event was that?
That's something we call a royal celebration. So we've done it for 3 years now. We get a different princess who plays the part. And we there's a whole few tables of food, that kind of stuff. There's crafts we do, games, prize giveaways, nail painting, all that. And then she puts on a show for us. So she does a storytelling and singing. But we open it up for guys and girls. We usually have a knight that walks around as well, which is
you gotta have a knight in shining armor.
Yeah. This year, though, we did an under the sea theme.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so you can see the pictures up on our Facebook page, but we turned the place as if you were walking underwater. We had everything all underwater themed. It was great. Yeah.
Well, this is fantastic. Like and I know I keep saying that, but it really is, because I see all the creativity that's going on in all of this. Like, because you really do have to kind of try to create something that's not just like everything else, right? There's a lot of things going on, but sometimes there's duplication happening out there. Yeah. So you must have you don't do this all by yourself, obviously. Yeah. And you gotta have money too. So how does that all work?
Well, it's backed by the church mainly, but we've been partnering with a lot of people in town, which is really cool. For our royal celebration this year, we worked with Starbucks. Oh. Yeah, they contacted us. It was awesome. And I'm a huge fan of Starbucks, so that was great.
That's probably you're the spokesperson for local Starbucks now.
Yeah, totally. They can hire me. We've worked with Value Village as well. They support us by donating anything that we need. So, for example, Royal Celebration or our kids camp, we get things that they may have there for free, which is great. We've worked with who else? We've worked with the grocery stores. They've given us gift cards, Girl Guides. Youth Unlimited, they came in. We did something called a Night of Hope. So I know you were just talking about Sarnia Sings and mental health. And we did a awareness night last year. There was a lot of teen suicides we were hearing about in Sarnia. And so we thought, how can we partner with other students and families, parents especially? And so we brought in a speaker who goes around to schools all throughout Ontario. And we called it a Night of Hope. And we did a campaign online for a while we did #Hope for Sarnia. We just wanted to give a positive message, but also material and resources for those struggling with mental health or know somebody struggling with mental health. So it's been great seeing our community come together and support us and partner with us. And that's been awesome. I'm looking forward to our events this summer and who else we get to work with.
Yeah, well, and it seems like every show I do somehow, and it's fine, the mental health comes up. I don't even have to bring it up. You just brought it. It happened. And it's really great to see in our community and other communities, quite honestly, too. But Sarnia Lambton, I've lived here all my life, so I know that this community is great about coming together when they really gotta, and something that's so personally affecting everybody. It really is. Yeah. And do you think that, without getting too off track from Sarnia Family Fun, do you think that we're doing enough? Like, we're talking about it, we say, like Michael Landsberg's Sick Not Weak, and, we have several local facilities here in town. Is there something more we still need to be doing, or do we just need to keep talking about it?
Well, having worked with mostly high school students that I know struggling with this, or, Petrolia as well as Sarnia last year, the high schools lost a handful of students to teen suicides. And one of the things that I've been seeing going around or hearing from parents is they try to get into programs and there's such long wait times. So I don't know what there is specifically that we can do without professionally being capable of answering those questions or walking through them the way they need to. But getting out there more resources, there's a lot already, but a lot of one-on-one would be really helpful. Yeah. And I'm not too sure. I'm still learning about what Sarnia offers for that. But
there is a lot out there, and I think it's just, I've heard the conversation of, well, there isn't a lot out there. There is a lot out there in Sarnia, but you got to know where to go, right? Yeah. And I think the whole talking about it aspect of it is that we got to get over that whole stigma. I don't talk about mental health. I don't even want to say the word. I don't want to say suicide. I don't want all that stuff. So, well, that's great that you guys have come forward with that as well, because church background or not, people need support.
Oh yeah.
In this issue, and communities, it takes a community to raise a community.
I've learned that one.
Right. So that's awesome. Let's move forward. I see a whole bunch of food here in this next picture. What's that?
So this was last summer. We did something. We design our own kids camps. So we've done a Lego one, something we called Game On. It was all board game, sports, video game theme. Last year was superhero training camp. So one thing we wanted to teach the kids was different superhero traits, like being generous, which is what you see in this photo. Yeah. So the kids worked for the whole week in their different little squads, we'll call them, and they had a competition of who could bring in the most non-perishable canned goods for the In a Good Shepherd. Nice. So we actually filled up a car and we brought it all over. They brought in that much stuff. That's just a little snippet of some of the things they brought in.
Right.
But it was so cool to see and challenge young kids to do something like this and make an impact.
Yeah, competition's good, right? Good, clean competition it's encouraging, right?
Yeah.
What a neat way to superhero camp. I wish I had one of those. I don't know which superhero I'd be, but I don't know. I loved how you tied that into being generous or what. That's awesome. I know already that we're gonna have to meet in person, and I gotta see more about all of this for sure. What else we got here? This young lady's smiling and happy. Who's that?
Oh, that's a girl from our community. She came out to our trunk or treat event. So that's on Halloween night. What we do in the parking lot, actually at the church. So most events are located off of the church grounds. But this one here, we take over the whole parking lot, we fill it with cars, and we decorate them like this. You can see Candyland going on. And it's just a safe spot that parents can bring their kids for trick-or-treating.
I want to be a kid again.
Yeah. Dress up as one for Halloween.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, so what we do is they come around, we've got music going, we've got free coffee and hot chocolate. We do a giveaway, a family prize pack. So we usually do a night out. There's movie gift cards in there and dinner that we give. And then, of course, candy.
You got to have candy.
Oh, of course. And yeah, so we give it out at this, but we came up with this idea as something to do inside of in our community to meet the need of parents who are a little iffy about going door to door or sending their kids off to that.
It's a different world.
It's the perfect spot, and they get tons of candy at this.
They probably do better, right?
Oh, probably. Yeah, we're given handfuls at each vehicle. It's not just one or two.
That's fantastic as well.
Yeah.
This looks like a family skate day of some sort.
Yeah, we do this a couple times a year. We work with the Point Edward Arena, actually, that you just mentioned not long ago. And we rent out the arena. We give out hot chocolate and popcorn, and we just have free skating available for families. So we usually give out
a lot of stuff.
Yeah. We like to give things away.
Nothing wrong with giving.
No. Yeah, so we do that a few times a year over the Christmas holidays as well as Family Day.
Right.
We do that. Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. Skating. I don't know if I could still skate or not. But,
you can try.
Yeah, I will. I'll try. Meighan, I'm almost out of time with you here, but I've really enjoyed the conversation, and I'm so glad that I stumbled across Sarnia Family Fun. And is there anything else you want to add before I know? Let's see. I got to try to multitask here. Oh, yeah. Okay. So you guys are on Instagram.
Yep.
Sarnia Family Fun.
As well as Facebook.
Yeah, there we go. We got you there as well.
Yeah, there we are.
Family Fun. Fantastic. So if people want to find out more about you, they want to reach out to you and get more on programs and everything. So is this open to anybody to come? I mean, like
we actually allow anyone who wants to volunteer. We have them sign up. I just get them to do a police record check, just because we're working with kids, and we cover that for them. It's great. We have people come in and offering to volunteer at these different events. So that's been really cool to see our community come together that way as well and grow our volunteer base, because without our volunteers, we can't pull this off.
Well, you're doing really well if you've got them, because I don't know, people say it's hard to get volunteers, but it sounds like you're the thing about volunteers is you got to appreciate them too, right? If you have them there, you got to, say thank you.
Yeah, give them some donuts.
Well, hey, like I said, free food. You can probably get me to do almost anything, right? So I'll bring my son along too.
There we go.
Meighan, I know where we're going to be connecting more in the future. So let's connect on Facebook and all that stuff, and set up a time to meet. I'd like to know more about what's happening, and would love to have you back on a regular basis.
Yeah, it'd be awesome.
Hey, we got an event coming up, and invite everybody else. Does that sound good?
Yep, that's great.
All right. Any final words?
No, thanks for having me on. It was great meeting you.
Okay. Meighan Tyas, I got that right.
Yes.
Thanks for joining us once again. All right, from Sarnia Family Fun, that was Meighan Tyas. Well, see, you never know who you're going to meet around here, right? And Facebook can be a good thing. Yes, it can be a good thing. Speaking of good things, we have a lot of good things in this community, but we also have a lot of people who look after us, right? And I think sometimes, until you move next to a fire hall, you don't necessarily know that they're around until you absolutely need them. And I'm talking about, of course, our local Sarnia fire rescue teams. And what are you doing in your house to prevent fires? Do you still have that escape plan? I remember in school we always had to go home and get mom and dad to come up with an escape route. Do you do that? Do you change the batteries in your fire alarms every time you change the time forward and back? Do you have, well, we got some answers for you from some of the other kinds of alarms that you need to have in your house and fire prevention as well. And they're patiently waiting in the lobby. These guys are a lot of fun to have around here too. Mike, Otis, and Roel, how you doing?
Good. How's it going, Dave?
Thanks for joining us, guys. Finally, we got you on here. I know we've been working, Mike and I have been sort of back and forth for quite some time to pull this off. So we finally got you here.
Good. Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah, you're welcome. Fire safety seems like it should be such a simple thing. And,
it should be.
and I guess it is a simple thing to do, but it seems like do people really do it as much as they should? Probably not.
I think the biggest problem we run into, Dave, is complacency. People always think, oh, that'll never happen to me. But we see what happens every day. And And Roel and I, in our positions, we get it comes across our desk every day. Everything that happens in Ontario, so we see the fatalities. We see what happens, and we've seen it in real life too, being firefighters. So unfortunately, people always assume, oh, that won't happen, but it does happen.
Well, I would have to say that the complacent thing is true, and guilty myself. I heard you guys. I know you guys regularly go on CHOK in the mornings, and I'm one of those guys that did the unattended cooking thing, and it didn't end badly, but it could have. And I think I heard you say, Mike, that that's one of the biggest causes of house fires is unattended cooking.
It is the number one cause of house fires, unattended cooking / careless cooking.
Yeah.
And we see, again, that's something we see all the time. Roel's done a ton of investigations already this year. We had 14 structure fires in January alone. That doesn't count small, pots on the stove and car fires and that. That's full out structure fires.
Yeah, well, I mean, the only advantage for me doing it is that my wife doesn't let me cook anymore. Of course, but seriously, we can laugh about it now, but it could have really, really went bad. And like I was home in the basement, and the kitchen's right above me. So, I mean, I could have been in really a lot of trouble.
Yeah. A couple of them that we've had this year that, when people come home for lunch and they cook, things are not really put away the way that they're supposed to, or something happens and then they go back to work, come home at about 4 o'clock and then find that the smoke is basically down to the floor. And yeah, there's so many combustibles in the kitchen too that once, something gets going, it happens very quickly.
Yeah. What about gas stoves? Like, I know that I have to make sure that I turn it. Sometimes I turn it the wrong way and I go, oh no, I got to remember, I turn it the other way and I've got to push it in. And is it better to have gas over electric, or is it just, it doesn't really make a difference?
I don't think it makes a difference. It's knowing how to use them properly, and at least with gas, like regular gas that you use to cook with, has an additive to it that you can smell it.
Right.
So that's at least it alerts you to, hey, there's gas coming out and it's not lit. So what's going on here?
Okay.
And then a lot of the electrical ones now, they have indicators that the burners are hot.
Right.
The modern ones, the glass top, have little lights on them, right? That knows that they're still hot, that kind of thing. But yeah, the unattended part is the biggest thing. Like, you go put something on the stove and you go watch TV, and all of a sudden you realize that you think you're only gone for 2 minutes, but it actually is 20. You come back and,
Yep.
Or worse, leaving the house and come back to something.
Yeah, well, I think a lot of us could probably say that we've done that, where we leave the house and then, did I turn off the stove? Go back.
Yeah.
Go
back
check.
and check, right? Yeah.
Oh, and the other thing I would like to mention with the glass stoves too is don't store things on it. There's, I know it's a glass top and it's all nice and flat, but the stove
just looks like a table, right? So I guess people kind of go, oh yeah, I can just throw that there, and they don't think about it.
Yeah, and you always think it's temporarily, and you think, like, I'm going to think about it when I turn it on, but it's that one time that you don't, that's gonna, it's gonna be catastrophic. And that's always the problem. Like Mike said, people think that it's not going to happen to them. Probably a lot of them are right, but the problem is, if it does, the results are usually pretty catastrophic.
Yeah. Do you get many people coming around and saying, hey, teach me fire safety, or do you guys you got to go out and do it, eh?
Both. We talk to people every day. I'm out at schools and businesses. Roel and I have our weekly radio show, as you mentioned. We have our social media. We're on Facebook and Twitter. We do a lot of fire safety messaging, like every single day. We do everything we can to get these messages out. We just want everybody to be safe, and like I said earlier, we're battling complacency, and we want everybody to have that early detection of working smoke alarms and their home escape plans.
Yeah. Well, I remember, and it's good that you do that. I see it on social media all the time, on Facebook, Twitter. You guys are huge on Twitter. and you're out in the communities too. Like, I mean, Mike, you and I have known each other a long time, and we run into each other all the time, often, right? Which is great, because I remember when I was a kid, as most probably do, that, oh, cool, we're going to the fire station today, and we're gonna, like, it was cool to be a fireman or a police officer or whatever, right? But then we grow up, and like I said, unless you move next door to a fire hall, we kind of forget that you're there. So is it working though? Have you guys seen, like, because you're out in the community talking to people probably more than you ever have in the past, is it helping? Like, is it working? Is it bringing numbers down, I guess is what I'm trying to say?
Unfortunately, there's always going to be accidents and stuff. It is working. Like, for example, as you saw on our social media last week, I went and taught at a school, and I got thank you cards, and they were saying how they went home and they wanted to practice everything they learned. So that proves that it's working, and they're learning lessons they can have for life. There'll never be a time when we can avoid everything.
Well, no.
Here.
Well, and it's changing too, right? Like, it's we've always had people talking out in the community, and like you said, people coming to the fire hall, and the programs that we run, they change all the time. There used to be one in a back of a truck that we used to bring the beds out and all that stuff and bring it to the school and have a bit of a skit almost. We don't really do that anymore. Now it's more social media, and it's we do go, like Mike said, go to the school still. So the message, it's the same, but the format changes.
Well, you're talking to a different generation now, right?
Well, yeah, right. And we're trying to find out ways to get to that last 10%. The people that are really hard to reach and almost don't want to be helped. But it's just, and sometimes then we have to use enforcement. But the education, I'd say, is definitely working. Yeah.
So I guess you probably have to reach mom and dad through the children.
That is an effective way to do it. We're trying to cover all our bases. Obviously, when Roel and I are on the radio and things like that, we're talking directly to adults. In schools, we're talking to children. We're just trying to reach everybody we can.
Yeah. Well, you guys are doing a great job of it, because I know I hear you all the time, and you're out there. Do you still stop, drop, and roll?
It still works if you happen to get your clothes on fire, because you're going to smother the flames. So yeah, we still teach it.
That's the one thing but see, that's good, right? And I mean, like, I'm 48 years old, so I was a kid like a while ago, and stop, drop, and roll, and it always stuck with me. Yeah. And that's good. And I have to ask too, because Mike, I've seen you on local television, Your TV or Cogeco. Yeah. With a dog. Yeah,
I did 3 PSAs with Lucky. He's our unofficial fire dog.
And that's, so one of the guys there owns that dog, is that right? Or
and Lucky, he knows how to stop, drop, and roll, check the back of the door for heat, and crawl low under smoke. So he actually does some fire safety stuff himself.
Really?
Yeah.
I got to meet him. That's cool.
Yeah.
So does he go along with you to school trips and such?
Not in schools right now. That's something we're going to work towards, hopefully. But he's come out in the public with us, and he does a lot of social media posts with me, PSAs and pictures. So.
I think that's fantastic. Let's talk about, and I'm not going to get it right, the O2 alarms. Did I say that right?
CO alarms?
CO alarms. Yeah, not O2, CO, right.
Oh.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, a lot of people call them CO2 alarms. They're
I failed chemistry.
Yeah.
We use that every day.
I'm sure. Yeah. What's the law there? That's mandated now?
Yes, it's been it's the law since 2015. Right. So because carbon monoxide is and we're getting a little technical, but it's a product of incomplete combustion.
Yep.
Which so if your furnace doesn't work properly, you're not supposed to have any carbon monoxide in your home at all.
Right.
Because it's a poisonous gas. But unfortunately, when some of the appliances that we do have in the house, if they malfunction in some way, they could produce carbon monoxide, and you can't smell it, you can't see it, you can't taste it. There's no other way to detect it than with an alarm.
Right.
And the only other way is you get sick, and with high enough concentrations, you can actually die from it. It's the number one cause of poisoning in North America.
Wow. So yeah, kind of important to have them in the home.
It is.
Is there certain locations, like do you just plug one into your nearest receptacle, or is there a strategy on where you plug them in?
Right now, where they need to be is near sleeping areas.
Okay.
So the misconception, when it first kind of came about, and the detectors and alarms were becoming more prevalent, people were saying, put them close to your furnace. They actually need to be where you sleep. So they need to be close to your bedroom.
Oh.
So carbon monoxide is a gas that has about the same density as air, which means it mixes with air. And so that means that if you have any kind of concentration in your home, the detector, wherever it is, the alarm is going to pick it up. And we want it to wake you up. Like if it's near your furnace,
right,
keep it away down there while you're sleeping. And in the meantime, your house is filling up with carbon monoxide. You may not.
Oh, wow.
Plus, it makes you drowsy too. So it's something that, like, it's not going to wake you up.
I'm so glad I asked the question, because I can tell you right now, so if I get out and walk out of my studio into the next 2 rooms is my furnace, and down at the end of that, guess what there is?
Your carbon monoxide detector.
Yeah, and we sleep 2 more floors up, my wife and I, and my son's right across. So I need to fix that problem.
Yes, you do.
Yeah,
so,
Dave,
I didn't know.
The biggest misconception with CO we find is people do the opposite, like what you're doing, where they put it by their furnace, and they argue over what height it should be. Like Roel already said, by law, you need it adjacent to your sleeping areas. And as Roel mentioned, it's the leading cause of accidental poisoning deaths in North America. Over 500 people a year are still dying from this. If everybody had a working alarm, the alarm would go off long before those levels got lethal.
Yeah, okay. Well, there you go. I guess what I'm doing after the show. Well, because I don't want you guys coming to my house and telling me I'm in trouble or something, right? Do you have to do much of that kind of stuff? Do you get calls from, like, I would imagine there's probably some landlord tenant issues in there.
Yes.
we run just over 200 CO calls a year just in Sarnia.
Wow.
Now that doesn't mean they're all real calls where they were in danger. Some they were in danger, some is a malfunction or whatever the case.
And that's
sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, and that's when they go off. Like, we also get phone calls all the time about questions, like where to put it, or do I have enough, or that kind of thing, and definitely running into landlord tenant issues as well.
That must be
it's the landlord's responsibility to put them up.
Sorry, say that again.
It's the landlord's responsibility to install them, and
really?
Batteries to maintain a battery in it every year. It's the tenant's responsibility to make sure it keeps working. Like it's
Yeah, okay.
They should test it. They should. Yeah.
So, but really, for the price of a 9-volt battery, check your batteries. And is it true that you should do that? Is it the rule of thumb, like daylight savings time change? Is that when you change your batteries?
It's a good time to remember to change your batteries. We say change your clocks, change your batteries. It's just a good time to remember.
Well, I don't know if you've taught this, but I'm going to see if I can offer a solution. We all have one of these, and you can program a reminder in there.
There you go.
There you go. Program a reminder in there. I don't know, twice a year or once a year. Like, I don't know what's
at least once a year or as required. So if you had a low battery chirp, you would obviously change the battery.
Yeah, and that's one of the smartest things ever, because it annoys the heck out of me. Beep. Which I guess is its purpose, right?
Yeah,
it is. Yeah. Yeah.
What's moving forward too with and we're almost out of time. I got my next guest about ready. You guys obviously have to work with other agencies like ambulance, and Sarnia Police. So I guess it would be important to have good relationships there, right? Because when you guys get a call, like, everybody goes. Is that right?
Yeah, it's called tiered response. We all go to emergencies.
Okay. Now, does that, and I'm sure there's a lot involved, but there must be like a process as to who's in charge on scene, depending on what's going on, or how does that work?
Right.
Depending, on the situation. Yep.
Yeah. So there's a
We all have
protocol,
our
obviously.
roles to play. So
Yeah.
at a fire, say we all have our roles and we all know what we're doing.
Yeah. So I mean, obviously, there's good relationships going on there because it just makes sense to make those things work. Gentlemen, almost out of time. Is there anything you want to add final? And I know now that we got you through the technical side of how to do this, we can have you back on a regular basis.
Yeah, we actually figured it out. We're pretty proud of ourselves.
I'm really super proud of you both. I got to tell you. Who does the social media? Is that you, Mike, or?
Yeah.
Okay, so it was really Roel that was having the struggle.
No, we had to get it on Roel's computer, and there's we had certain programs that are
Yeah. It's good. So now we've got you. We'll expect to see more, and we should get together in the community and do some. I got some other ideas for you guys too that we should. We'll go have a coffee or something. I'll pop by. You're on East Street. Is that where you're at?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
All right. I'll pop in there and I'll say hello to the chief as well.
Thanks, Dave.
Sounds good.
All right, guys. Till next time. Thanks for joining us.
Take care.
Thank you for having us.
All right. There you go. A couple of members of the Sarnia Fire Rescue. They're a lot of fun. We're going to have more fun with them here on the show. I know that, and we're always going to talk fire safety. I mean, it really is, like they both said, it's a complacent issue with all of us. So go check your fire alarms if you haven't. Go change your CO alarm, right? Which I got to do because it's apparently in the wrong spot. I didn't know that. It's not something I think about all the time, and so we probably don't either. So when the kids come home and say, we got to plan a fire escape, don't roll your eyes and go, oh, yeah, do it, right? So that's good. Thanks to both Mike, Otis, and Roel for joining us here. We will have them back very, very soon. All right, well, my next guest, I'm excited to have her back, and she's in the lobby. Pardon me. Justine, I'm going to get you to turn your camera because you're sideways on me. Oh, there you go. There you go. You're good. Keep smiling. All right, I'm going to bring my next guest in right now. I think she's ready. She's smiling. She's got her earphones in. Hello, Justine. There you are. You're right side up.
Hey.
Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. How have you been?
I've been good. Really good. How have you been?
I've been doing fantastic. And you've really been making some waves in the boxing world again, from what our friend Wade tells me.
Yes, it's been good.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about last year when I interviewed you. Maybe just kind of refresh everybody. So Justine is a local boxer, and she's quite a champ, actually. And well, you are a champ to us, right? Maybe we could go back to that and then come forward to what's happened since. So when I talked to you last, you were going to Ireland, if I remember.
Yes, last time we talked, I was going to Ireland for the Esker All-Female Boxing Cup.
Right.
So I went down there with a couple of the other Ontario females and my coach, Tom. And I actually ended up winning the Esker Cup, so that was exciting.
Yeah, that was fantastically exciting. And we kind of got the live updates when you were sending me, or Tom was sending me photos while you were down there.
Yes. So
I don't want to ask the question like you obviously don't plan to lose, but did you go there like saying like I'm going to kick some ass and I'm taking this?
Yeah, I was training really hard.
Uh-oh, we lost you. You're froze up. Justine, if you can hear me, I'm going to get you to try to refresh and come back. And I'm going to do the same too. So I'll be right back, folks. Stay with us. There we go. We're back.
Oh no, I don't know what happened. My camera's being weird now.
That's okay. Oh, there, right there. Don't move. All right, so you went to Ireland, you kicked some butt,
Yes.
and then moving on.
Yeah, so I won the Esker Cup there, and then from there, I actually ended up winning every tournament except for provincials. I did get a silver at provincials, but which still qualified me for nationals.
Yeah.
So when I went to nationals, which was in Edmonton, I ended up getting a silver there as well. So
Wow. Justine, just for the record, how old are you?
I am 24, just
Okay.
turned 24.
So you're 24 and you've been boxing how long?
I've been going on 4 years.
Okay. So, and I think I asked you this question before, but I want to bring it back. So I'm a dad and I have a daughter.
Yes.
She comes to me and says, I want to get beat up. Basically, that's what I hear, right? When you say I want to be a boxer.
Yeah.
How's dad and mom and the family with all this?
They're actually really supportive. I wrestled when I was in high school, and I always had a love for combat sports. So
Okay.
once I started boxing, and my family's really supportive of it, they knew how much I enjoyed it, and they just growing up, they never viewed me as one to be afraid or anything like that. So they were never concerned of me getting hurt. They see it more. A lot of people see fighting as something scary. My family kind of views it more as a sport. So
Right. Sport and
yeah,
discipline and all that stuff.
so they're behind me on it. It does freak some people out, but my
Yeah.
family knows that.
Well, I'm not a big sports guy. Well, I should say sport. I'm not a boxing guy. So if my daughter, who's 21, came to me and said, I want to be a boxer, I'd be like, ooh, okay. All right. So, and you have a daughter as well, don't you?
Yes, I do. My daughter Maya, she's 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if I recall the last time I talked to you, you said that she inspires you.
Yes, she does. When after I had her, I started taking boxing a lot more serious. I want her to know that if you work hard and follow your dreams, you can do anything. It doesn't matter if you're a mom or if you want to be a boxer and you commit your time to that, then you're able to do that. So
Yeah. It's great to hear somebody young like yourself to say that. Because I mean that's been something that's been said for hundreds of years. If you work hard and da 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 da, you can have whatever you want. And I think some people find that hard to believe. They
yeah.
probably find it hard to believe because they're not working hard enough, in my opinion. But so it's nice to see. I would imagine that you're probably inspiring. Some other people as well. So keep doing what you're doing. So Wade sent me some pictures, and so recently you won a silver medal at the National Boxing Championships in Edmonton. You mentioned that.
Yes.
Let's move on to Quebec.
Quebec. Oh, so the Imperium Cup in Quebec.
Right.
I also went there. That was before national, so that was after I got back from Ireland. So I went with my coaches to Quebec, and I was the only girl from Ontario in that weight class. So I wanted to, both the other girls were from Quebec. So I wanted to win that and represent Ontario, show them that we're better. And I
Right.
ended up beating both of the Quebec girls unanimously. So it was really good.
So I'm so excited for you because I remember when I met you last year and just talking to you, you are an inspiring young lady and you're pleasant to listen to, and you've got your goals set and you are working hard at it. Training is obviously a big part of what you're doing. Where do you train?
I train at Blue Water Boxing Club with Tom Hennessy, Wade Fleming, and Chuck Evans. And then
Yeah.
I also do I do strength training, personal training at Elite Core. So Elite Core performance training with Dave Garns.
Okay. All right. And they've been with you from the start of all of this. Is that about right?
I just started with Dave we've been together for about a year now, over a year. So I feel like doing my personal training with him one-on-one really put my performance to the next level.
Yeah. What about Golden Gloves?
Golden Gloves. So I got a silver at the Golden Gloves. that's our provincial. So it's the provincial tournament. It's called Golden Gloves.
Right.
And I got a silver there where I fought Sarah. She's the 54. She was the 54 kg national champion, but she actually switched down to 51. So I ended up getting a silver there. She's also the girl who won nationals at 51. So we were both from Ontario.
All right.
Yeah.
So what's sorry, I was going to say the training part of it. So how often do you train? Are you training every day or every other day, or what's that look like?
Well, right now I'm taking it easy. I was training for so long. So I train twice a day usually, sometimes 3, but the third one would just be like a really light workout. I do one boxing. One of my workouts will always be to do with boxing, so it'd be like a boxing class or something along the lines of like technical work, and then my other one would be cardio or strength training.
Okay, all right. Wow, you're busy. So you've got 5-year-old Maya, and you've got boxing, and you must work.
I'm in school. I'm just graduating in June. So
you're in school. Wow. Yeah. What did you take there?
Social service work.
I totally see it. That's awesome. And was that here at Lambton College?
Yes, at Lambton.
Okay, all right. So this is your graduating coming up. That's good for you. That's exciting too.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Life is happening for Justine Honsinger. You're making it happen.
Yes, it's going really good.
Yeah. So what's the next, how long can you do this? How long can you keep this up, this boxing? And then, you've got a daughter, and then you're going to look for work and a career.
Yeah. So I'm going to be looking for a job opportunity this summer coming up. So then that's when I can figure out where I will be working and kind of adjust my training schedule based around that. I have a lot of support from everyone, so I'm going to continue to adjust my schedule accordingly and keep training for next year.
Okay, all right. So when you say for next year, so what's next on the boxing roster for Justine?
A gold medal at nationals.
That's awesome. Well, I talked to Wade. We were texting and talking in the recent days, of course, to get this set up, and I know he's all super supportive of you, and he believes in you. In fact, he told me last year about the Golden Gloves and it's great. And I know Tom. I've talked to Tom about you there too. What's this? Let's go through these pictures quickly here. Where was this?
So that was in Edmonton, where I won my first fight at nationals. Okay. It was my first fight at nationals ever, and I won, so it was really good. Yeah,
right on. And that's who's that?
That is my coach, Tom, and myself at nationals.
He's pretty proud of you too.
Yes, he is.
Do mom and dad get to travel with you to these places and be there for you?
My mom has some medical issues, so she's unable to travel with me, and my dad does when he can. I travel so much that they can't keep up with me, but when they get the opportunity, they do. Yeah,
right. Well, you're a big girl. You can travel by yourself, and then somebody's looking after Maya while you're on the road then, obviously.
Yeah, her dad's really supportive. He watches her, her grandparents, her aunts, everyone, so we have all the support that we need.
Well, it sounds like you're surrounded by some really awesome people, and I know we're going to be having you back and talking Golden Gloves champ, I think, right?
Yes.
And nationals and all that stuff. Good for you.
Yes.
Well, keep in touch with us. I know Wade will keep me updated, but I know we're connected on Facebook too. So
yeah, for sure.
Reach out and keep me posted on everything that's happening around there in the boxing world in your life. So very, very proud of you, Justine, and nice to be talking with you again.
It was nice to be back. Thanks.
Thanks for joining us.
No problem.
All right, well, there you go, Justine Honsinger. She's a champ. She really is, and she's so fun to talk to. Last time I interviewed her we did a one-on-one spotlight interview with her. It's actually, you can see it on our website, tvsn.ca. Was really excited to have her back because she is a busy lady. Obviously, you can tell with family and school and sports and everything else she's got going on. So congratulations, Justine. Wow, look how quickly an hour flies by when you're having fun talking to people. So thanks again to my guests, of course, Justine Honsinger and there, Mike Otis and Roel and Meighan Tyas from Sarnia Family Fun. Check them all out on Facebook and Twitter and all that stuff. And if you'd like to be on the show, you can connect with me on Facebook. I'm not hard to find. Send me a message and tell me what you'd like to talk about. We'd love to have you here on the show. We're going to have some regulars on here. We want to talk music, and even if you're not in Sarnia and you're watching this and you've got something positive you want to share or talk about, I would love to hear your story and put you out here on the show. Don't forget, again, tonight, 7 o'clock at the Point Edward Memorial Arena, a Candlelight Vigil in support of Humboldt Broncos. And they're asking everybody to wear a jersey if you have one. And it's also the reason why I'm wearing green and black tie. They want everybody to wear green today. So, and if you don't have a jersey, it's okay. Just go if you can be there, right? We need to support these families in this tragedy. Thank you all so much for watching. If you're watching still and you enjoyed the show, do me a favor, give me a 10. Just type 10 in the comments below. It'll help us grow. Share this video around. And if you happen to be watching the replay, please type replay so that I know when you were watching. Thanks so much, everybody. I really appreciate your time being here on the show. That's all the time I got for you this week. Have a great week and an even better weekend. I will see you next time right here on the show live. Bye-bye for now.